You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 23rd of October. India bridged strong positions, deep divides in G20 Summit, says Jaishankar. Pakistan's ex-PM Imran Khan indicted in official secrets case. And devotees in India, Nepal throng temples to mark auspicious Mahavami. Now for all the details. Heaping praise on the G20 Summit success, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar on Monday said the G20 bridged strong positions and many people were surprised after witnessing India bridging the deep divides between countries. Addressing a gathering of envoys at the G20 tree plantation ceremony in New Delhi, Jaishankar said G20 was a prominent topic of discussion at the UN General Assembly in New York and that many countries took particular satisfaction at the permanent membership of the African Union in the G20 grouping. He said that overall there was a sense in global diplomacy that the summit under India's presidency actually delivered very substantively on what were the most pressing issues of the day and made India far more connected with the world.
About 3 weeks ago, I was in New York for what's the annual gathering of diplomacy, the United Nations General Assembly. And I must share with you that the G20 was very much the subject of conversation. A lot of people were still a little surprised that the G20 could bridge what were strong positions and deep divides.
And in another blow for Pakistan's jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan, a court on Monday indicted him and his former Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi in an official Secrets Act case ahead of a general election expected in January. The charge is related to a classified cable sent to Islamabad by Pakistan's ambassador in Washington last year, which Khan is accused of making public. However, Khan denies that and says the cable was proof of a US conspiracy to oust him in 2022. Khan has also been barred from politics for 5 years. Meanwhile, PMLN party supremo and ex-PM Nawaz Sharif returned to Pakistan this past weekend after 4 years of self-imposed exile in London to kickstart his party's campaign for the election. The 73-year-old politician addressed thousands of supporters in a rally and said he just wanted to serve his nation and see it prosper. Sharif's biggest challenge will be to wrestle back his support base from Imran Khan, who despite being in jail remains popular. And moving on, a series of protests have erupted in POK with growing unrest over inflation, unfair taxes and crackdown on people expressing their dissent. A report. Scores of local women and lawyers in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir recently held a demonstration over a range of issues, including inflated electricity bills, wheat crisis and denial of basic amenities. Locals lament they have long endured discrimination and second-class treatment, and they have been bearing the brunt of Pakistan's failed economic policies, with no respite in sight. The region has witnessed a series of protests in recent months.
वतीन की जो हमारी यहाँ पे पिछले 1-2 महीने से जो एहतजाजी तहरीक चल रही है, जालमाना लोड शेडिंग, बिजली के जो बिल हैं, जो बिल यहाँ पे 300-400 आता था वो आज 4000 से 10,000 वो आ रहा है। उसके बाद यहाँ पर आटे के हवाले से मैं बात करूँ कि पिछले 2-3 दिन से ये रूटीन है कि जो आटे का बैग 1700 या 1800 का था, आज वो सिफारिश पे भी 3000-3500 रुपये में लोगों को, आम लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा।
Earlier this month, during another such protest, several locals were injured as police baton charged upon them, while some of them were also arrested for speaking out against the government's policies. The women protesters demanded their immediate release.
कमेटी जो बनी है उसमें जितने बच्चे बड़े जवान जो भी हैं बीच में शामिल हैं उनको बाइज्जत तरीके से रहा किया जाए और हम उनके लिए खड़े होंगे, आवाज़ निकालेंगे। वो सब हमारे लिए खड़े हैं, वो अपने घर के लिए खड़े हैं। इस वक्त भूख और प्यास ये सब लोग मर रहे हैं और आप लोग कह रहे हैं कि हम निकले ना बाहर।
Well, coffins carrying the bodies of 4 Nepalese students killed in Israel were brought to Kathmandu on Sunday, 2 weeks after attacks by Hamas militants that have killed more than 1,400 people, mainly civilians. At least 10 Nepali nationals were killed in the attacks. Bodies of the other 6 would be repatriated in a few days, officials said. The Nepal government held a ceremony to bid farewell to the victims on Sunday. The Israeli ambassador, Nepal's foreign minister, and a survivor of the attack also attended. About 4,500 Nepali nationals work in Israel, mostly as caregivers, and additionally, 265 Nepali students are in the country as part of a learning and earning program.
1,400 bodies in Israel. We are in the middle of the process of identifying the bodies. Not all of them were identified. Not all of the bodies of the Nepalis were identified. Unfortunately, today 4 will arrive, and the 5th one will arrive in a day or 2. We still have 5 bodies to identify, and we will take care. This is our responsibility. They are our families.
Moving on, in a first after assuming office, Sri Lanka's President Ranil Wickremesinghe on Monday reshuffled his cabinet, changing the portfolios of 2 ministers. In the minor reshuffle necessitated by the removal of former minister, portfolio of Kehelia Rambokwela was changed from Health Ministry to Ministry of Environment, while Industrial Minister Ramesh Patirana was given the additional charge of Health Ministry. According to local media reports, Rambokwela was removed as Health Minister following a number of allegations raised against the ministry during his tenure. A no-confidence motion against him was also brought in Parliament by the opposition, which however got defeated before change of his portfolio. With an intent to challenge norms and champion women's empowerment in motorsports, the first ever women-only autocross event was organized in Srinagar, city of India's Jammu and Kashmir. In a field that has been traditionally dominated by men, women are proving their mettle and have achieved notable success in various racing disciplines over the years. One of the organizers said these women are blazing a trail for others and challenging the status quo, also making significant contributions to the motorsports industry.
I'm so excited about seeing so many ladies here. I can't tell you, I was overjoyed last night. We had about 35 ladies at the briefing, and it's more than we get in Delhi. So I was absolutely overjoyed, and they're so enthusiastic. Everybody drives here, and it's so beautiful to drive around Kashmir.
Car driving is not just meant for the boys, right? So we also love driving. So if you get a platform like this to show up your driving skills as well, a platform which takes you to a national championship contendership, a podium holder, why not?
And serpentine queues were witnessed outside the famous Taleju Bhavani temple in Nepal on Monday as it opened its gates for devotees on the auspicious occasion of Mahavami. Take a look. Long and meandering queues stretch to all possible corners of Basantapur Darbar Square in Nepal's capital Kathmandu on Monday as the famous Taleju Bhavani temple opened its gates for devotees on Mahavami. Regarded as one of the Shakti Peeth in Hinduism, the temple is only opened for public on the 9th day of the Dashain or Dashera festival. The day is also considered as the final day to make ritual sacrifices of livestock to Goddess Durga and her various incarnations during the 10-day long festival.
अब एक वर्षमा एकचोटि आउनु पर्ने मन्दिर धेरै राम्रो छ सबै भक्तजनहरू आइरहनु भएको छ यहाँ हामी चाहिँ 6:40 देखि लाइन बसेको थियौ अहिले भर्खरै आइपुग्यौ लगभग 1 घण्टा अराउन्ड भइसक्यो.
Meanwhile, similar scenes were witnessed in India as devotees thronged temples since early morning to pay their obeisance on the 9th day of the Navratri festival dedicated to 9 different forms of Goddess Durga. Navratri holds immense importance in Hinduism. It is believed that during this festival, the goddess descends on earth to rid it of demons and bless her devotees. The festival culminates on the 10th day, with Vijayadashmi marking the victory of good over evil. Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.